What's up, guys? My name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going over a viewer requested build. Now, this build I am calling the Flying Insect. And that's because someone in my YouTube comments most recently basically said that they loved flying on Insect Glaive and they missed it from previous games. And truth be told, I'm with you. I agree 100%. I wish there was a more efficient way to play Insect Glaive other than the grounded Spiral Rising Slash in Monster Hunter Wilds. However, we don't get that benefit. What we do get, however, is the ability to make something similar, and at least with the combo set and how everything was described, how it looked, and the research that I found out, is that you kind of have something similar. It's not as good, and it is probably, like, it's kind of meta just because it's got really good skills on it, but it's not going to pump out a crazy amount of damage in comparison to other builds. But nonetheless, I wanted to make this for you, wanted to make it for anybody else that is an Insect Glaive enjoyer like myself, that may be missing flying through the skies, just whacking a monster. That being said, let's get into it. Today, we are rocking my Rarity 8 Ardian Creme de la Creme. Perfect rolled Insect Glaive in the Blast ailment. This thing is really, really nice. I love this thing. I've had it for a while. It's one of my favorite weapons, and it was actually one of the first ones that I got with the 7 attack and 1 sharpness. So, this is what I would recommend for you. Personally, I don't think paralysis is the best status element anymore. I know it is good, but the thing is that some of these monsters, they have a lot of health, they've got a lot of resistances, and you're just not able to take advantage of it nearly as often. In fact, I would actually say Blast has now gone back to the best status element. The reason for it, unless you're playing Hammer or Greatsword, in which case you sleep, but in this case, Blast. And the reason for it is because Blast is going to allow you to just do more damage. You are going to get more Blast procs than you will Paralysis. You are going to get plenty of extra damage that comes from it because every time, I believe it is 150 damage. It's not a lot, but let's say you're playing by yourself and you get 10 Blast procs. You're sitting at 1,500 damage. That's a sizable amount when you add it up into the entirety of a single hunt. So, for that reason, I recommend you use a Blast Insect Glaive. On top of that, next up, we have the Hunting Horn. If I don't have a Hunting Horn in a build video, is it even one of my build videos? Like, let's be real. Our armor. We are using a myriad of things. And the reason for it is because I was actually focused more so on skills, especially after we got the Guts bonus. So in this one, we have New Udra 1, New Udra 2. We have Arch-Tempered Raidao. Also, these are Arch-Tempered pieces. We have Bale from Omega. And we have the Arch-Tempered Uth Duna Greaves. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Sniper, why in the world do you have so many random pieces? The only bonus you have is Bad Blood, which is not effective because we don't have Resentment on this build, and Guts. Well, truth be told, the reason for it is because you have everything you need. This build was all about still being good, but being able to take advantage of the ability to fly. And what a lot of you, I'm assuming at least, don't know is that there's a couple extra skills that play in part to the flight of Insect Glaive. But we're going to get into that in just a second. Next up is we have the Golden Age Charm. You guys have seen it, you know it, you love it, or you hate me because I have it and you don't. Attack Boost 3, Item Prolonger 3. I love this one. It is one of my favorites, and that's because you can't beat popping a Mega Demon Drug or a Mega Armor Skin and it lasting twice as long. You just can't. It's super, super nice, and I love this one. That, and it rolled with 3 deco slots. Huge. Speaking of deco slots, let's talk about them. For our Insect Glaive, you are going to use these 3. Okay? If you are using a different Insect Glaive than myself, that being an element one, a different status, or if you're using... Actually, I don't even think there is a raw one, so never mind. If you're using an element or a status one, you will want to include on this 3rd slot right here whatever element or status it is. If you are using Paralysis, use a Paralysis Jewel. If you are using Blast like myself, use a Blast Jewel. If you're using Fire, Fire Jewel, Dragon, Ice, Water, blah, 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 so on and so forth. You are always going to want to focus that one. On top of that, The reason we are rocking flight attack and razor sharp handicraft is because if you are like me and you do have an attack boost 3 decoration, mixing the attack right here with flight and attack and razor sharp handicraft with the attack here, it allows you having handicraft level 1, razor sharp, your respective element or status maxed out, and attack boost maxed out, and you get airborne. Because like I said, the entire idea behind this build is that you are doing damage flying in the sky. Okay? Next up is we have our physique jewels. Physique jewels are going to give us constitution. Constitution is really, really nice when you're trying to fly through the sky because it is going to reduce the amount of stamina that is consumed with each hit while you are flying through the sky. So, what I mean by that, when you use your dodge ability on any weapon, you take a set amount of stamina. Let's say it's 20%. What this is going to do is this is going to reduce the amount of stamina that is depleted by 50% at the highest level, which ours is. So instead of it costing 20% of my entire stamina bar, now it's costing 10% of my stamina bar. Does that make sense? I hope it does. That's how it works in my brain. Obviously, I'm aware that those numbers are completely fake. That is not how it works. Those are not the numbers exactly, but that's how I break it down to make it make sense in my little brain. Okay? Next up, we have challenge jewels. The reason we are rocking challenge jewels is because the agitator. We are not going for affinity. We are going for raw attack, and we want to do as much of it as possible. And the reason for it is we don't have a lot of affinity boosting skills anyways, so crit boost doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Meaning, weakness exploit is no longer as effective. Not to mention, weakness exploit, at least to me, on Insect Glaive, is not as good as agitator. And the reason for it is because weakness exploit hits and does well when you are hitting soft parts of the monster, where they are weak. When you are using Rising Spiral Slash or you're flying, typically you are hitting the top of the monster when you're flying, or you're hitting the entire monster when you're literally rising up like a phoenix, okay? Because of that, weakness exploit doesn't get used to the same effectiveness as other weapons because you are not sitting there and only hitting one area. Meaning, at least for me, agitator is way more valuable. Not only are you getting the little affinity increase, but you're also getting a nice sizable attack increase of plus 20 raw. And if you have a really well-rolled Ardian weapon like I do, plus 20 raw puts you at 242 at the least. 262 actually, when the monster is agitated, because I'm at 280 right now with the food buff. Okay? Next up, we have our chain jewel. The reason we are going with chain is because Insect Glaive is one of those weapons that you are very easily able to keep burst active. Keeping burst active is really, really nice because you just get the damage increases. You never have to worry about not having some sort of buff thanks to burst and how fast and often Insect Glaive is hitting. We're going to skip jumping jewel, and that's because there is something you guys probably don't know that you're about to learn something. Next up is we have steadfast, and that's because I feel like I'm always getting caught out of the sky and getting stunned. I feel like every time I use Rising Spiral Slash and I get hit, if I'm not getting roared out at least, I get hit, I feel like I fall down and I get stunned. I don't know if that's like intended or what. It feels like it. I'm probably wrong and I'm probably just losing my mind, but it feels like it. If you feel like it too, like, let me know in the comments that I'm not alone. I feel like I might be alone. I feel like you guys might try and gaslight me in the comments, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. Next up, we have the attack, the growth, and the shockproof. The reason for the attacks is this allows us to max out our attack boost. Growth is going to make it to where if we are in a longer hunt, we're just going to get buffed up. We're going to have more attack, more defense. Shockproof is to make sure that nobody else can mess us up, because I swear if my buddy that plays dual blades and only dual blades decides to start swinging on me again while I am in the process of trying to do my Rising Spiral Slash combo, and he keeps doing, I'm going to come through the screen and I'm going to beat him myself. Okay? Next up. Jumping jewel. You're probably asking, Sniper, why in the world would you use evade extender on Insect Glaive when you can just pogo stick throughout the entire fight? Well, I'm here to tell you that evade extender actually works with your pogo stick. Now, when you are playing Insect Glaive, you've got your 3 different buffs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get those real quick. We have everything but the orange buff, which I believe... There we go. So, when you do your pogo stick, your vault, you actually go further when you hit your midair evades. And that is because those evades count as part of evade extender. So to go ahead and showcase this a little bit, we're going to go ahead and start right here. We're going to use our boy Luke and this corner as our, I guess, our marker. Okay, we're going to vault, we're going to jump. And you can see we made it with ease. I wasn't holding W to this very back corner. Now, if I were to come over real quick, and let's swap this and this to just any piece that doesn't have evade extender. Let's go ahead and take a look. You can see we have no longer evade extender. We're going to tuck ourselves into this corner again. Right here. We're going to vault, aim for the same spot. Oh, we didn't exactly go to the same spot. Let's try that one more time. Right back here. We'll get it. We jump. I understand it is not, but I want you to think about something for a second. We didn't even make it to the corner on the closer side. Meanwhile, with Evade Extender 3, we made it to the far corner with ease. There was no movement, there was no nothing, and I was tucked farther behind our boy Luke. Now, the funniest part about this is that I actually totally forgot that this was a thing. I ended up learning about this forever ago when I was making a guide video on how to use Insect Glaive. So the funniest part about it all is that you've been able to do this the whole time. Most people don't know it, and that's okay. It is not common knowledge. Just like you may not know that when you use your Kinsect, if it's a blunt Kinsect, there's a chance that it inflicts stun. But because you can vault even further, it kind of lets you control the fight a little bit more, because you're able to go a little further. The idea behind this build was not to have something that was so meta that it was just like every other build, but it was something to kind of showcase how the Insect Glaive used to play. Before, you used to be able to just sit there and strong jumping slash the entire time. It is not like that anymore. You can't just sit there and fly through the sky. It's still viable, but it doesn't do anywhere near the same amount of damage. And thanks to the myriad of skills that we have and how everything works, you can see we're at 320 raw attack with 206 blast. That is just going to keep proccing. Overall, this build is a lot of fun. Thank you to you in the YouTube comments for suggesting something like this. I forgot how much fun Insect Glaive could be when you're not sitting there just spamming your, what is it, Rising Spiral Slash? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, this is fun, this is cool, but it's definitely fun to just fly around. Especially on monsters that like to hang out on the ground like Lagiacrus. Super, super fun. I recommend you give it a shot. However, that is going to do it for today's build, guys. Thank you all for coming to watch it. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show